Hi, I'm Kat and it's the end of the decade, so I am doing the end of the decade tag. This tag was created by Kat from Brews and Reviews and she also tagged me in the tag. So the structure of this tag is that the decade is split into 3 parts. We have 2010 to 2013, 2014 to 2016, and 2017 to 2019. And then you answer questions about those, and then there's a couple of questions at the end, and basically you just see how much your reading has changed over the past decade. But with the years, I'm just going to change them a little bit for me. Instead of being 2010 to 2013, I'm going to change it to 2010 to 2012. And then instead of 2014 to 2016, that ends up being 2013 to 2016. And that works better for me because basically when you've got these 3 segments, you can split them into high school, university, and adulting. So if I tag you to do this tag, you can either do the original dates, or if you graduated the same year as me, maybe you do these dates. Okay, so let's go 2010 to 2012. High school. Question 1, how much did you read? So I definitely use my Goodreads metrics to help me with the answering this tag, and I started using Goodreads in 2012, so I can confidently say at least 4 books. But of course there were so many more. I started reading heaps in 2009, so these years were filled with just like all of the big releases of the time period, and vampires. 2, what genre did you read the most? I mean, vampires are a genre. Can that be a genre? I read a lot of fucking vampires, but you know, overall, urban fantasy. 3, what were your favorite books and authors? Montage time.
Greetings, loved ones. Let's take a journey.
La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
4, is there any book that you wish you had read during that time period? So like maybe the Matched series and Uglies. Everyone used to talk about them all the time, and I don't know too much about them. I've just heard of them a lot. I probably would have loved them back then, but I just have no desire to read them now. And 5, do you have any regrets about your reading during this period? I guess that I just didn't use Goodreads earlier. Like when I joined Goodreads, I added all the books I knew I had read, but I didn't get to put dates with them, and I really like going back and seeing what actual dates I read them. Next up, we have 2013 to 2016, aka university. 1, how much did you read? 152 books. Thank you Goodreads for that exact number. But that doesn't actually include all of the books that I only half read for university. 2, what genre did you read the most? So like urban fantasy into like high fantasy. I knew tracking religiously on Goodreads would come in handy one day because I just get to see all of the stats. 3, what books and authors were your favorite? Camera died, we back.
Take a sip from a secret potion. One taste and you'll be mine. It's a spell.
4, is there a book you wish you had read during this time period? And not that I can think of. 5, do you have any regrets about your reading during this time period? I guess maybe that I just didn't finish a lot of my uni books, and then they didn't count towards my Goodreads goal. And also it just would have made my classes that little bit easier if I completely understood what everyone was talking about instead of trying to fake my way through it, which did work. And now we come to the present, 2017 to 2019, or adulting. 1, how much did you read? At the time of filming, 124 books. Still have December left, so maybe add 3 or 4 books to that. 2, what genre did you read the most of? High fantasy and urban fantasy, just all of the fantasy. It is who I am. 3, what were your favorite books and authors?
I'm a sucker for you. Say the word and I'll go anywhere blindly.
or is there any book you had wish you had read during this time period? Like all of the books. Like I have like 90 over there to be read. And then I guess maybe just the Red Rising series earlier. I do have plans to read them within the next month, she said for the past 12 months. And 5, do you have any regrets about your reading during this time period? I did hit a bit of a slump last year, so maybe that I just didn't read more because I wanted to read all of the books. And then we have our final 2 questions to wrap everything up. 1, when did you find BookTube and did it change your reading habits? Found it 2012, 2013, and then started my BookTube channel in 2014. I guess I just read more. And starting my BookTube channel also coincided with me like finishing high school and just growing up, so my reading taste just naturally changed from there as well. But I do read more Aussie books now because I hear about them more. And lastly, how do you think your reading has changed over the last decade? Well, now I read more than just books about vampires. I read a little more widely now, but I'm still just going to be that girl who reads urban fantasy and high fantasy and all of the fantasy. And there you go, there's a brief overview of my reading over the past decade. It's really weird to think that I can now think about my life in decades because I've been here for over 2 of them now. And in 2010, I was 14. Like that's where my online fandom journey like really began, and now it's just recorded on the internet. I'm gonna tag 6 people here. I don't know who else has also been tagged by Kat, so if you've been tagged twice, it must really mean you should do this tag. So Gabriella Pop, the YA Room, all of you, just one of you, I don't know, whoever wants to do it. Cara Bottrell, G Swizzle Books, Ellie from Earl Grey Books, and Bree from Jasper and Spice. You are tagged. Please comment down below if you've read any of these books and how your reading tastes have changed over the past decade. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos.